Yes, you read that title correctly.
We are selling our boat, and it's pretty bittersweet for us. We're going to break it all down for you in this video. We have a lot to unpack. In fact, I've got a whole page of notes that we're going to cover.
Yeah, so we are back in Florida, and we are getting the boat ready to sell. In fact, if you've been following our journey, you know that this is what we called our unicorn boat. And while it is a little bit bittersweet, we're really excited for the next chapter of the adventure cruise. And no, we are not quitting YouTube.
No, we're not quitting YouTube. If you're a patron, you've known about this. For a little while, this is a conversation that we started having probably 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Just kind of the festerings of maybe what's next. Do we keep the boat? Do we keep going? We always said this was a 2-year thing, and now we're finishing out season 3. So
yeah,
we already have done it longer than we ever said.
Yeah, in fact, I think it's really important if you are someone that's looking to get into the cruising lifestyle, which is an amazing lifestyle, do not do it unless you can commit at least 2 years to it. I mean, the first year is all about kind of just learning the boat and getting comfortable with the boat. The second year is really, for us, was the biggest and most enjoyable year, I think. But then, of course, now we're in our 3rd year and we're getting older. We're realizing that there's a lot of the world that we have not seen and yet we still want to see.
Yeah, we don't know if or when we want to have kids, but what we do know is that we really love the dynamic we have. The two of us with our puppy dog, Dixie, who's not even a puppy anymore. She just turned 8. But she'll always be our puppy dog. And thanks to your mom and stepdad for taking care of her right now so we can get the boat all cleaned and ready to go. But it's something that we're thinking about. There's still just so much out there that we want to see and explore before changing that dynamic, because that's a big life decision.
Yeah, and unfortunately moving at 8 knots is just a much slower pace of lifestyle. It's an amazing lifestyle, but we just realized that, hey, we've seen as much of the Caribbean and of the Bahamas as we would like at this point in time.
Yeah.
And we're ready to move a little bit faster.
The Bahamas still to this day is our favorite place we've ever been on our boat, but it will always be there. The Bahamas is easy to get to, close to Florida. We can go anytime, and I don't want us to limit ourselves to only going and seeing the Bahamas.
Yeah, the reality is that we're not done sailing. We're not done experiencing life on the water. But one of the things that we've learned is that we don't love long passages, and 20, 30 days at sea to get beat up and just it's just not for us, right?
Yeah, I mean,
unfortunately,
when we bought our boat 3 years ago, we're like, yeah, we're gonna cross oceans, we're gonna circumnavigate. And
we thought we were never coming back to Florida.
Yeah, we bought so much stuff that we thought we were never going to see the U.S. again until we had made our trip around the world. But if I'm really being honest with myself, I don't enjoy the long passages. You don't either, but I think I feel more strongly about it than even you do. And after a couple of days, I'm just I'm totally over it. I'm ready to get there. And we've done a lot of passages. We've done enough passages that I can honestly say that. We've been up and down the
5, 6,
coast
7
of
days at a time.
U.S. 5 different times, making the trip from Fort Lauderdale to Annapolis. So I can legitimately say that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the reality is that, day 1, 2, 3 goes by and it's fine. Day 4, day 5, day 6, that's when you start really asking yourself, what am I doing out here? I could have just jumped on a plane and been there within hours, not days.
Yeah.
And
obviously this is our opinion.
Yeah,
there
of
are
course.
some people that just love being at sea, and hey, more power to you, but we're just speaking solely on our thoughts and our opinions on this.
We've got some bucket list items that we want to go chase.
Yeah.
One of those being Emily's biggest one is she wants to go on a safari.
I'm dying to go to the African safari. We both, you specifically, but we want to go on an Antarctica trip. There's just so much out there, and our bucket list is not getting any shorter, and we're not getting any younger. I think that's really the crux of it. And also we've realized we love making adventure travel content. To me, sailing content gets really boring. To film, it feels like every video is the same.
From a creative standpoint.
Once you get offshore, like the blue water all looks the same. And I truly love the filmmaking part of YouTube. Like there is a part of me that like would really love to take a film school class. Like I love that. So this is, again, solely my opinion. There's a lot of people out there who do it really well, but it's not something that I'm interested in doing every single video. I like the creative challenge of the different sceneries and really switching things up, and that's just really what brings me the most joy in what we're filming.
I feel like for those of you that have been watching week after week after week, you probably kind of saw the transition period or that pivot in our content. The first year was all about boat content. The second year was a little bit about content, but more adventure experiences. And then this year, we even talked about it in our
life update
video.
Of the year.
And we've just been focused on unique experiences, unique stays, and we really feel like that's kind of the adventure travel track that we really love and that we're going to point towards.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is the Adventure Cruise as a brand is evolving. You know, started at sea, but now very much a mix of land and sea. And we left our careers to make a career on YouTube. So we are not quitting YouTube. We'll talk about that a little bit here in just a few minutes. But first, we want to talk about, we have an open house. For our boat coming up very soon.
Yeah, so actually it'll be next weekend as we're filming this, March 22nd and 23rd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you are interested in purchasing a boat, you want to come see our unicorn. She is a 2016 Leopard 44 owner's version that has every upgrade box checked and then some.
Yeah, she was actually the last hull made of this model.
So yeah, if you're in the market to buy a boat and you want to come to our open house, March 22nd to 23rd, shoot us an email. We'll send you all the details on that and how you can come see the boat, and we can discuss it in more detail. A lot of you actually send us emails all the time asking questions, insurance, to use a broker, not to use a broker, all the questions about pets and just all kinds of questions about this lifestyle, right? And over the last 3 years, we have learned a tremendous amount. In fact, if you remember, we didn't know how to sail at all before buying this boat. So I've actually teamed up with my friend Stephen Lloyd over at the Yacht Rigger, who's also a broker as well. And we're gonna do a completely free 1-hour Zoom call to answer all your questions. We're gonna talk about the current market. We're gonna talk about the cruising lifestyle as a whole, and then answer your questions. This is a time for us to kind of give back to you, the viewer, and say, here's what we've learned. If you're into this, we can help answer some questions.
Scan this QR code here and put in your information, and then we'll send you the details of that Zoom call. It's not scheduled just yet, so once we gauge the interest on that, we will then schedule that Zoom call and, of course, email you and let you know. So you're probably wondering what's next for us, and well, we're still kind of figuring that out.
I kind of hinted to it a little bit. We've got a growing list of bucket list ideas that we want to chase.
Yeah.
But we're also realizing that we love traveling with our home.
Yeah, we love traveling with our home. We don't like living out of a suitcase. I hate packing. And then we also travel with the dog, so that kind of limits us really to what we can do. So we're kind of leaning toward an RV, but we are not going to be an RV channel. It is very much an adventure travel channel. The RV really is just a means to an end to get us from point A to point B, because moving from Airbnb to Airbnb all across the country doesn't quite make sense when you're living out of a suitcase and traveling with a dog. So we're really thinking an RV, but not exactly sure like what that would look like.
We've got to go look at them. I mean, we've been looking online, and quite frankly, we can't find one that we really like.
Yeah, but we do want to see all 50 states. This is honestly like where the travel dream started, like going on 5 years ago now. We've been together 5 years. Holy cow.
Married 3. I think that we have actually talked about this in one of our previous videos.
We did, yeah.
But the RV life is what really started this wanderlust of travel. because Emily's told me, she goes, I've always been contract based. This is back when she was working in TV news.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm done with COVID. Like, I don't want to talk about COVID one more time. My contract's up in a year. Why don't we take a year off of work? And at that time I was in construction. I could get a job anywhere. And so I was like, heck yeah, I'd do that. Like, let's go travel for a year. We just didn't realize that we were actually going to quit our jobs to start a new career.
Yeah.
On YouTube. So that's where the conversation started. That's where we're heading. One of the things I'm super excited about when traveling just our country, the United States, is that there's such a huge diversity of landscapes. I mean, I see the pictures of people jet skiing through Lake Powell. I see the people, walking through the desert in Arizona.
Yeah.
Obviously out west.
The salt flats.
I haven't been snow skiing for like 4 years
long
now,
time.
and I absolutely love snow skiing. So I'm excited to, go snow skiing this coming year. Like,
Yeah.
if you know the cruising lifestyle, cruising season is during the winter time in the Caribbean and Bahamas. So therefore, you're on your boat at the peak time that we could be out in Colorado or Utah, like getting some powder.
Getting some powder.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. There's just so much that we want to do. In fact, this is like a prayer of ours just about every night. Like, we want to see as much of God's beautiful earth as we possibly can.
Yeah.
And so while we have the puppy and while we, don't have kids right now, we're ready to just go and rock and roll and move faster.
More flexible. Like,
Yeah.
if there's an opportunity to go film a video somewhere or have an epic adventure, we want to be able to go and not worry about leaving the boat and the cost and all of that incurs, and just be more fluid and go. And I think this will allow us to do that. Why are you laughing?
Because I'm thinking about what we found. We went and got a storage unit to move our stuff off of.
Oh.
And I asked the lady at the storage unit place, I said, hey, I see you've got some RVs here. How much does it cost to put an RV there for a month? She tells me $158.
We're like, are you kidding me?
That's like 4 hours at a dock. Like, I don't even know if we've ever been to a dock that's
that cheap.
Yeah, no, of course we have. But it's just a world of difference, right? It'll be so easy just to leave the RV and go fly back to Florida or wherever.
Yeah.
Like,
we're thinking we'll probably be more domestic for the next year because we really do want to see all 50 states. But who knows, if there's an opportunity to go abroad to go film an epic video, like, we'll certainly go do that.
Rickshaw run?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, so as for our group events, we will still be having our sailing group events. In fact, our next Bahamas event, our Cruise with the Cruise, coming up in June, so in just a few months, only has 2 cabins left at this moment of recording this.
Yes.
So that's pretty exciting. If you're interested in that and want to jump in on this trip, there are 2 cabins left, so you can scan this QR code. We'll email you all the details there. And then we're having our first land-based travel event in the DR coming up this November. It was initially in the spring, but we had to change it to the fall because we ended up having a conflict. So super excited about that.
Yeah.
Like, we love the DR
so
much.
just to reiterate, we will still be doing 2 to 3 group travel events a year. That's our goal.
Yep.
1 sailing event or boating event, and then 1 land-based. Those are going to be our 2 major ones. We might throw in a third here and there, just if maybe they're small, like maybe we call them like VIP trips or something like that. Maybe small trips. I don't know.
If there's interest for that, for sure. But really, the goal of these trips is to take you with us all around the world. Like, we don't want to just be limited to the Bahamas for sailing or just the Dominican Republic for land-based travel. We want to do this all around the world and have epic experiences together. And we've now had 2 of these sailing trips, and it just brings us so much joy because the people who come on these trips are so like-minded and adventure-driven, and just like you just like get each other.
The best thing about these trips is that people come not knowing each other and they leave as friends. And we now have, on this next trip coming up, we have 4 repeat guests,
which is really cool.
This is amazing, and they all know each other. They're all friends in that sense. Of course, we will have new people joining us, which is amazing.
Yes.
But what I love about it is that we have a WhatsApp group, and quite frankly, that group is still active
From a year ago.
From a year, yeah.
Literally a year ago.
So,
and I have to give a quick shout out to Sweet Angus because he has come on every trip. He just signed up for this trip. This is his third one he's been on, so always appreciate that. When people come back and they just really have a good time, and it just makes us feel really good. So I'll put those QR codes here on the screen, so if you're interested in that, we'll send you all the details.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Finally, though, we need your help. Because
in a big way.
Yeah. We said we want to see all 50 states. What we have learned that we really love is unique experiences, epic adventures, unique stays, whether that's staying on a $16 million private island, whether that's riding the newest, latest, and greatest train, or riding the most scenic train. We're out to find those experiences, and we need your help.
Really, like, off the beaten path things is what we're looking for. So, like, if anything comes to mind, maybe it's a bucket list of yours that you've not had a chance to do yet. For me, one of my bucket list items is I want to do the 14-day rafting trip down through the Grand Canyon. Like, I just feel like that would be so epic. I know a lot of people have done it, but that's just one of the things I want to do. I want to do I want to do a houseboat on Lake Powell.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to jet ski through like those things.
Like,
that'd be really cool.
So
if you know of something awesome that we should do, scan this QR code, last QR code of the video, I promise, and you can fill out all that information and tell us where we should go, what state it's in, what's the video idea. We really want this to be a community-based thing where we get you involved.
Yeah.
And basically, do we call it like our USA tour? USA road trip, the ultimate road trip.
Ultimate adventure road trip.
Yeah, I don't know what we call it, but in our mission to see all 50 states, we want to find the epic and the unique and the weird and the grand and the small. So yeah, if you have those ideas, please send them our way because we're excited.
We are
excited
excited.
to get going.
That's why this is bittersweet. Like,
yeah.
we know that it's going to be really hard when we do come back to boat life at one point.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to find a boat like this, but at the same time, like, we're so excited for the next adventures, the next chapter, and we can't wait to take you along with us.
Yes, our true goal of all of this is to see the world and to take you along with us and to capture it through our camera lens.
Can you imagine, like, sorry, I just had this thought. I had to throw it out there. Do you know how cool it's going to be 30 years from now to, like, look back on these videos?
So cool. So
that's
cool.
That's what excites me the most. Like,
I'm not rushing
really cool.
30 years of my life.
No, I'm
like
not either.
That can wait. That can wait. I did want to mention a quick programming note. After this video, we have one more video from the Dominican Republic, and then we are like completely out of content.
Yeah.
So my guess is it's probably going to be a month or two that we take off because we need to like sell the boat and then actually like go on adventures.
And figure out,
where we're going and like figure out our life. So bear with us on that. We really don't want to just film a video to film a video. We really want it to be intentional, and these adventures we go on and things we capture to be really purposeful. So just the time of this transition, there's going to be a little time
But for you patrons, that doesn't mean that you're not going to get my weekly video, because that's something that I am enjoying doing. And so we'll definitely be putting out that weekly update video, or those topics that you guys have listed for me every week. So
yes.
Yeah.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching and being part of the journey. I feel like I said this 3 years ago, but this is just the beginning. There's so much ahead.
Yeah.
Over the steering wheel. It's gonna be great.
Over the steering wheel. I like what you did there.
You like that?
Thanks, guys.